Hi there, this is Writing Essentials with Mrs. Benson. Today, I wanted to talk to you about a very powerful tool to heighten your style and language, and that is parallelism. So what is parallelism or parallel structure? Same thing. Parallel structure is the repetition of the same pattern of words or phrases within a sentence or a passage to show that two or more ideas have equal importance. This technique adds symmetry, effectiveness, and balance to your writing. If you have a lack of parallel structure, if your writing is not parallel, it really disrupts the rhythm of a sentence and it kind of leaves it grammatically unbalanced, and it just subconsciously affects your reader and making the person feel less at ease and understanding the flow and rhythm of your writing. So proper parallel structure helps to establish balance and flow in a well-constructed sentence, and the alignment of related ideas really supports the readability and the clarity of your writing. So parallel structure is a wonderful thing. I really encourage you to implement it and integrate it in all your genres of writing, and in almost every writing assignment that you have, you can have a moment or even a plethora of moments with parallel structure to really heighten the sophistication of the writing overall. Here are some examples from very famous figures. Parallel structure is a very powerful tool in the realm of oration and oratory addresses and speeches. So you'll see parallel structure throughout politicians' addresses to the public, but just also good writers in general are always using parallelism as well. So here are some examples. My fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. From JFK. From Aristotle, for the end of a theoretical science is truth, but the end of a practical science is performance. Next one, my fellow citizens, I stand here today, humbled by the task before us, grateful for the trust you have bestowed, mindful of the sacrifices borne by our ancestors. Next one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. And lastly, we've seen the unfurling of flags, the lighting of candles, the giving of blood, the saying of prayers. So as you can see, parallelism is not exactly repetition. It's the repeated grammatical structure with different words utilized. If you look back at our first example, you see that the parallel moment of the sentence starts with ask. So that ask is the verb, and then ask not what your country can do for you. And then the parallel piece to that, ask what you can do for your country. So you see that parallelism really presents a balanced grammatical form, but a substitution of different words so that I can add and increase the elements of my sentence, but still keep that flow throughout. Parallel structure is different than repetition. So repetition is just literally the exact same repeated word or phrase in a sentence, whereas parallelism juxtaposes two or more similar syntactic constructions, but not necessarily the exact same words every time. So repetition is more about the actual words and clauses and phrases, whereas parallelism is more about the actual structure. Repetition can be categorized into different groups, but parallelism, can be created using different types of repetition. So it's a form of repetition. It's just a little bit more complex. If we look over here at these two examples I created for you, repetition sounds like this. We must end injustice. We must, we must, we must. So that's literal repetition. We must, given several times. But with parallelism, it sounds a little bit different. We will not stand for injustice. We will not stand for bigotry. We will not stand for hate. So notice how it's not literally every single word the same. Yes, there are some words repeated, but then I change and substitute to increase the elements in the drama of what I'm trying to say. There's something about that delivery that has more power and impact than if I had said, we will not stand for injustice, bigotry, or hate. Do you see how it's different than getting that categorical list, or in providing that list through parallel structure so that there's that repetitive rhythm to heighten the impact and the drama of the delivery? All right, so repetition and parallelism, similar, but definitely not the same. And you can look at parallelism as sort of a form of repetition in structure, but not necessarily in every word. To sum up, writers use parallelism to emphasize an idea through the rhythm that's created. It has a very auditory pleasingness to the delivery. It emphasizes a contrast between two concepts. In the first example from JFK, those were two very different entities, but the parallelism showed the difference that much more impactfully. And then parallelism also balances concepts so that they each hold equal value and emphasizes ideas through concision. We can usually get to the point in a sharper fashion without so much wordiness if we maintain the balance with the structure. So to close, more often than not, good writing includes powerful moments of parallelism. So I encourage you to try to implement parallel structure in your writing. In particular, it's a great way to close. So if you don't know what to do for your last line of your essay, think parallel structure and you'll probably be on your way to a winning close. Happy writing.